Hey there, good morning and welcome back to Morning Rush. Travel restrictions and a new COVID variant are hitting prices in an unexpected way. Heidi Goitia in Phoenix reports on how some relief at the gas pump might be on the way for drivers.
After months of station sticker shock,
outrageous. I think gas has always been overpriced.
Whispers of lower gas prices welcome news for drivers.
I'd say it's about time. Yeah.
Experts say these near record prices are nearing their end, and they say the Omicron variant is driving the decline.
The trickle down is whenever you see countries reacting in a way that they restrict travel, it's going to mean lower oil consumption. And that's why oil prices tend to react the way they do to a new variant. There's a lot of unknowns.
Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddies says a barrel of oil is down $17 from a month ago, and if more countries restrict travel, it will likely go down even more. Here in Arizona, we've seen some of the highest prices in the country.
In the last month, the national average is actually down about 6 cents a gallon, whereas Arizona is up 20 cents.
He says refinery issues in California and Arizona's unique blend of gas are to blame. On the flip side, he says Arizona will see some of the biggest price drops.
As those problems are worked through and dealt with, we will likely see prices fall, I would say, in excess of 25, maybe as much as 50 cents a gallon.
Until then, drivers don't seem deterred by these high prices.
Part of the deal. Yep, it's just kind of what we do.
And aren't holding their breath waiting for prices to fall.
I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
Heidi Goitia, ABC 15, Arizona.
Hopefully we'll see some relief soon. And that was Heidi Goitia reporting for us from Phoenix.
Democrats running for office next year have been pressuring their Republican opponents and the Biden administration to take a stronger stance on rising energy costs. One proposal has been for the Congress or the White House to suspend the federal gas tax so that drivers don't pay as much at the pump. Now, the move has wide bipartisan support from elected officials in both houses. So could we see the federal gas tax suspended? Joining us now to discuss is Representative Yvette Herrell of New Mexico's 2nd Congressional District. Congresswoman Herrell, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Rush. So what is the federal gas tax and why exactly do we have it? Let's lay it out there for viewers who may not know.
Thank you for having me this morning. It's a great bill. What it would actually do is suspend the 18.4 cents per gallon of gas until all the federal mandates are lifted on the COVID, or 6 months, whichever is longer. But this actually gives people a little bit of relief, because where we're all feeling the crunch on this inflation and the higher cost of everything is in the pocketbook. And so if we could get this passed, that would bring alleviation to at least 18 cents a gallon of gas for at least a minimum of 6 months.
So what are some of the benefits, besides the price of suspending the federal gas tax that you just mentioned?
Well, right now we're seeing prices skyrocketing. I mean, we see inflation, the cost of utilities, the cost of heating our homes, of fuel, goods and services. Paychecks aren't going as far as they used to. I mean, it's a fact. We are seeing people that are making $40,000 a year and less are really being hit by the increase in prices. And in my own district in Catron County, right now they're paying almost $4 a gallon of gas, which is $2 higher than what they paid just a year ago. So simply bringing some relief to the pocketbook of the American people, I think will be very well received by Americans, and they deserve it.
Definitely. So you, of course, sponsored the pausing of unrelenting markups on Petroleum Act earlier this year. What does that bill do exactly? And do you have any updates on where it stands in Congress now?
Yeah, we're waiting for it to get committee hearings, but what it would do is actually it would eliminate the 18.4 cents per gallon of gas, and that would stay in play until all the COVID mandates are lifted, or for 6 months, whichever is longer. So while it is more temporary, it is temporary relief that Americans, I think, would very much appreciate, especially going into the travel season, the holiday season. So we're hoping that we can get a committee hearing, and maybe with this interview today, we'll get more interest in it, and the administration will look more closely at this bill that we bring that actually does exactly what he's talking about doing, except we were talking about doing it, 6 months ago.
So how much of an issue do you think rising energy costs and the gas tax will be for midterms next year?
It's huge. I mean, here we were under the Trump administration looking at energy independence, and now first day in office, President Biden signs an executive order that eliminates 11,000 jobs related to the Keystone Pipeline. And what we're seeing happen with these policies and these executive orders is crippling production of oil and gas on federal lands, on private lands, on all lands. And when we're starting to ask OPEC and Russia to produce oil, when we're sitting on a wealth of oil and gas, petroleum here in the United States, it makes no sense to go to a foreign nation to ask for fuel. It makes no sense at all. And plus, it's all about climate change. It's all about clean energy. We have one of the most restrictive regulatory processes for oil and gas production in the country, in the world. And yet we're going to be asking Russia, China, other countries who do not have those same regulatory restrictions in place. So it really does nothing to the environment when we start asking OPEC and Russia and China to produce fuel for us.
So aside from the bill that we spoke about just a couple minutes ago, what are some other ways that Congress can better address rising energy costs in the country?
Well, we need to make sure that we're protecting oil and gas production on every front, because energy is a part of our, global appearance. It's a part of our ability to protect ourselves. I mean, this whole thing in terms of reliance on foreign countries for oil and gas is crazy. What we need to do is have honest discussions, because all of our producers are willing to work together. In fact, our producers in America have lowered emissions more than the next 12 countries combined. So we simply can produce fuel, heat, petroleum products easier, cleaner, and more affordably. And this is what's missing. And we're on such a rush to save the climate that we're actually putting those that can least afford it in harm's way. We need to have better conversations and stop these ridiculous government overreaches that are hurting production possibilities on federal lands across America.
All right, Representative Yvette Herrell of New Mexico, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Rush. We appreciate you speaking with us today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.